Hey everyone, let's take a quick tour of using Windows Defender, Windows Security application. Here we are in Windows 11. Haven't used this machine in a while, but here it is. Now down near the clock, down here in this place that we call the system tray or notification area, you see different little things on every system. This is one for networking. There's your power for how much battery life you have and the speaker. On this arrow, this little up arrow, down arrow, or as they say, an up caret, this right here is Windows Security or Windows Defender. And you may have other things. You may have a lot of other things. Your Windows Defender may be listed down here. It depends on your system. So to get to Windows Security, this is the easiest way. If you do not see it here, then I'll show you, well, I'll just show you now. We would just type Windows Security and click OK or click Open. That's going to get us to the same place. And it really should be showing up down here. If it's not, then once you open it up, you want to check and see what you got check marks on. Notice the most important one here, virus threat protection, is on. We'll take a look at what is in here in just a minute. That's also here on the side. Account protection is not on here for me because I do not have my Outlook account tied into this particular Windows install. Firewall and network should be on. App and browser control should be on. We'll take a brief look at that, and device security and so on. Later on, we'll take a look at protection history, latest protection that we've had, and a couple of other things that we find in here. But we're going to focus here on virus threat protection. Now, what you should see is that it's current and whenever the last scan was done. Now, I did a quick scan just a minute ago, and you can always just start another quick scan. You can also turn on your scan options or take a look at, well, what type of scan am I going to want to run? And this down here, Microsoft Defender Antivirus, this is an offline scan, meaning that we're disconnected from everything, the network, and so on. And they tell you why you would want to do that. You may want to say, look, I want you to do a full scan every time and go ahead and set that up, or tell it which things that you want to scan. So if we hit custom scan and hit scan now, it says, what do you want to scan? And you say, well, downloads, because that's, always where we download stuff that's bad for us. You basically tell it what you want to do. So I'm going to leave it on quick scan. Allowed threats, obviously, you wouldn't want to do that. That this sounds weird that you would you would have this option, but there are some applications, especially used in business structures, that could be misdiagnosed as a virus or a Trojan. And then you would say, well, I need that program running. It's not a threat. I know it's not a threat. And usually your IT would add that if that was the case. All right, so start it again. Manage my ransomware protection. This is an interesting new feature that they have. So protect your files against threats like ransomware and see how to restore files in case of an attack, which is great. Protect files, folders, and memory areas on your device from unauthorized changes by unfriendly applications. So you can turn this on, and this is going to help from those things that I described, for instance, of having something go through and encrypt all your pictures or delete all your pictures. And here you can take a look at, well, what folders are we going to protect? Notice it says add protected folder. Up here are the ones that are already added right here. So I don't really need to change any of that, but if your protected folders is not on, that's a good idea to turn that on. You'll notice that that doesn't defaultly happen. We want to see when the updates have happened. And if this is older, then you should basically be receiving an update every single day. So you can tell when I am doing this video. So usually this is going to happen every day. So if you look at last update, you're like, oh, that's like 2 months ago. Well, that's not right. Take a look at the protection updates and say check for updates. For some reason, maybe it's not auto getting those, but you should never really have to worry about that. This will automatically happen once your computer has been on enough. All right, account protection I don't have turned on, but what you're doing here is locking this in with the cloud. And then it's going to be able to monitor cloud and everything else. I would suggest that this is turned on. I think that a lot of people won't do this with Microsoft. I find this very funny. They'll say, "Oh yeah, Microsoft, man, they're starting to track our searches, and they want us to sign in with this online account." No way! And it's like, you have a phone, and if it's an Android phone, that they make you sign in with an online account, and they are watching all your searches. So why are you concerned about Microsoft and not Google? It's very strange. This is an advantage to have your cloud account, your Outlook account that is made under Microsoft tied in to that. Now, we are not going to go through the firewall information. That'll be in a different video. But we can look at app and browser control. This is enhanced protection from untrusted apps. So if we take a look at, well, what does this mean? This is off, but it says on. If we could turn it on, this smart app control spots a malicious or untrusted app, it will block it. And evaluation, while smart app control is in evaluation mode, it will learn and help you protect your system without getting in your way too much. And mine's under an educational license. So if we go and look at, hey, why is this turned off? It's going to say you don't have access to that. But I would turn it on. I would have it on. And yeah, it's basically going to look at a big list, honestly, and do what it says. It's going to go through and watch how things work and what you're doing. But it's going to have a list that this stuff is all good, which we're going to pull up the store here as the last thing that we do. Device security has a lot of cool stuff under it, and you can really take a look and see what all this is. But these are kind of standard things that happen within all hardware operating systems, modern day operating systems. My data encryption is not turned on. That's BitLocker. Talk about that at another time. And there's good reasons why I don't have that on, which I'll talk about at another time. We can take a look at device performance and see if there's any issues going on there. And yes, indeed, there's some family options for having your system turn off. Another reason to just have a separate user account for kids on your computer, not having them use yours, because you can really manage a lot of that stuff. And then a little history saying, well, has anything happened? Have we had to go out and get rid of a virus or something like that? And that's really it. It's very automatic. It's a good program. You'll read good and bad reviews, but then again, if you start looking at different security applications, you will read good and bad reviews about every single one. Okay, let's take a look at the App Store. We're going to throw this in on that because honestly, you really need to use the App Store prior to just going out and finding something. It's right here. This is the Microsoft Store. And you can also, of course, just search for it or navigate to find it off of this menu. We open it up, Microsoft Store. This is great because if you're using the store, it'll actually keep track of things you've installed through here and make sure they're updated. So basically, this is doing what all stores now do, where it's kind of an intermediary. For instance, if you got Microsoft, well, let's just use Netflix, it's here. So if I download Netflix and install that, then when Netflix has an update, they will push that update to the store. The store will then know there's an update for something installed on your computer, and it will update that, which is fantastic. That's a really good thing to do. Let's take a look. Store has everything. It has games, it has the videos, it has just everything. So you can go straight to apps. And let's look PDF right here, PDF X, PDF Reader. And it does a little editing, right? They want money if they're going to really do some editing. But there you go. If you're looking for PDF viewer, right here, you can just get it straight from the store and you know that's safe. If you use Spotify, you can get it straight from the store, WhatsApp, iTunes. You can get so many things straight from the store. I want another browser. And so then you can say, well, Firefox, that's the big worldwide um, compatibility browser, right? If something's not working, try it in Firefox. And there it is. And so you can get Firefox, download it. There's Brave. There's another great one. We'll talk about these as well. So you want to use the store. It'll handle the downloads. It'll handle the updates. It'll show you what you have downloaded in your library. It'll actually give you the option to install the updates, update. Look at this. Look at all these updates I got to do. So I can tell it to do all the updates. It normally will do a lot of these automatically. But again, I haven't had this computer on in quite some time. So right now it's probably going through and going, man, I got a bunch of updates to do. So the store is great. Use it. It's very easy. Yeah, update that. No problem. I want to download a game that's here. I can do that. It can even this game came with it. No, I didn't download that, but there it is. You can open it straight from there. You can even view your versions and see everything about that if you wanted to. So I'm not logged in here. Notice it's not logged in. But yeah, take a look at the store if you've never looked at it. This is the safest way to get applications, programs onto Windows. And I tell people, as I said already, just to summarize, come here first and try to find what you're looking for. Very general search, and it will pull up all the internet browsers that it has possibly, and they've checked it, they've verified it, trying to make sure that you will not get infected by any of these. So do that. Do it that way before you just go out to the internet and try to find Firefox, which is pretty easy to find and install. I will say that, but this is the safest way to do it. Thanks for watching. Glad that you came around to see what was going on, and we'll talk with you later.